gentlemen, welcome to this special Thursday edition of Driving Perilously. In this episode, we start the camera before we even leave the parking space. It's very exciting. Driving Perilously is the show where we turn on the radio and talk about what we find. Or what we hear. Oh, the police are here. Oh my. Wow. This is a very quiet, I was going to say neighborhood, let's say development. This is a very quiet development. And I just saw 2 police cars. Alright, so that was Blue Skies from now on. Legends 100.3, which you can find on the Legends app and around the world, or 100.3 in sunny South Florida. I can't place that voice. Is it Bobby Darin? Seems to me if it was Bobby Darin, I would have heard it already. Because they play a lot of Bobby Darin, and I just acquired Bobby Darin's greatest hits or something, or some compilation of his, and I don't remember that one. It sounds good, doesn't it? Let's see. Tell me who it was. Tell me who it was. They're not going to tell me who it was.
Just one of those things.
Alright. It was just one of those things. Just one of those bells that now and then rings. Just one of those crazy flings. A trip to the moon on gossamer wings. Alright, what else we got? Aww, it's Afternoshade. I don't know. Known professionally as Sade or Sade. That's her nickname. Her real name is like Ashanafade. I can't say it. I'm not. I wish I could speak Nigerian better. I cannot. So with this one, Smooth Operator by Sade, which she famously sang on Saturday Night Live with lipstick on her teeth. And Fly Me to the Moon, and you know, that could enter the Great American Songbook, right? It's timeless. It sounds retro. It sounds like it could be modern. It sounds like it could be of a time other than when it was the 80s.
Every time the sun goes down, I let you
off the agency's use of the Clean Air Act to address climate change for the first time.
Kim, you were part of the beginning stages of the EPA more than 50 years ago, as we said.
The
It's been
EPA 50 years
working
ago.
for the administration. How do you think about the organization's role in protecting our environment now?
I wonder if that's copyrighted. I'll put a little silence in between.
Continues to have a very important role to play. I would say for a number of reasons, it's much more challenging for the agency these days than it was in the early days.
That's interesting. It's more challenging for the EPA than it was when the EPA started. What does that mean?
Different views on some issues was able to come together on major issues. Today, Congress does not have. I'm sorry.
I guess we can't blame every problem we ever had ever on Congress. Might as well. Why don't we just have term limits already? Does anybody disagree with the term limits?
New legislation in a
I mean, we could have term limits of 80 years. We could start there and then move back to 70, 60, 50, and eventually 20. But we could all agree on a term limits of 80 years, I think. Just like with the gun age, you have to be at least 3 years old to buy a gun, don't you? And you have to be at least 3 years old to change your gender. So maybe we can start with 3 and then scoot that up to 14.
And that kind of uncertainty make
I guess I have nothing to say today. Nothing I want to say in public today. Okay, so here are these people. They're at the end of the song, the part of a lot of songs where they get louder and louder and they start doing riffs. They do the, like a cadenza at the end of a concerto. They get louder and louder and louder and, more screaming or whatever, more emotional. So I was thinking about that yesterday. I was in a restaurant and the people on the speaker, people in recorded music, were just singing their heart out, this great emotional outpouring at the end of a song. And we're all sitting there like, this cheeseburger's pretty good. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. Our entertainment consists of people at the extremities of their emotion, or at least pretending to be extremely emotionally involved in the lyrics and the song and their image and their the most exciting time they've ever had in their life. But we're sitting there listening to these things one after the other after the other after the other. These artists at the extremity of their human experience, and we're just sitting there like, next, next, okay, next. It's just kind of funny. As an artist, I don't get louder and louder at the end of my songs. I don't really enjoy pyrotechnics. Alright, so that's 8 minutes and a half. Happy Thursday. Feels like a Friday. We had our performance last night, and tonight we don't have an audience, and then tomorrow we have opening night. So it's weird to think that we've already had an audience, but now we're not going to have an audience. But the audience was receptive, very small. They call it outreach. I guess it means practice for us. I don't know what it means. And we'll see. We've got a good show on our hands. Heather's. All right. Have a good one.